let's go back to the beginning.
The
So,
beginning. Back to the future.
so you are one of the first people I'm talking to in season 2 of
Oh,
Big
yes.
Ball Conversations. So, and I would like, obviously, a lot of people know who you are as a musician, but I do want to introduce you, and I would like now we get to introduce yourself. So obviously, I'm talking to the favorite of mine, Ringo Madlingozi. Hey, uRadebe.
Thank you, Madlamin. Yes, man, I am Ringo, aka Sindile, aka Zanemvula Madlingozi. Born and bred in Cape Town, but studied, carried on with my education in Umtata, Eastern Cape. When I was expelled from school, I was already, accepted at UCT to do medicine. But while I was waiting for that to happen, I joined a musical group in Cape Town by the name Kwezi. And after I joined, the Kwezi, disbanded, and then a new one was formed, Ipeto, where we entered a national competition, Shall Road to Fame.
Oh, I
And we
remember Shell
won.
Road to Fame.
Yeah, and then we won. And then I came to Johannesburg. Then I forgot about the UCT and the medicine and everything else as years go. But in hindsight, I'm like, okay, I was supposed to heal people through music rather than
Right, the
convert
scientist.
to doctor. Mm-hmm.
Mm. Do you regret the decision though? Do you think you would ever go and study medicine? Because it's never too late.
No. I look. I've got friends who are doctors, and I see the frustration that they have to go through.
Mm,
And me, as a free person as I am, I don't want to be told what to do and how to do things. And I believe that the music that I sing, go deeper, with people, all those who understand what I'm singing about, and even who can feel the energies and the emotions that come through my music will understand what I'm talking about.
you spent a lot of time with one of our former presidents,
Yes,
Thabo Mbeki,
yes, oh yes.
and I used to listen to you tell me about the intellectual conversation that you two used to have. And I used
Yes,
to think, we need to have these conversations
yes,
openly. We need to gather the collective intelligence of regular South Africans and Africans, and just to captivate the imagination and have people thinking for themselves and thinking differently. What is anthropology?
it's a study of the origin of life based on the excavations, and also based on information that is taken from the fossils, the Homo sapien, where everything starts. And
Right.
also how we as a people, I'm looking at Africa right now, seem to be growing,
Mm.
and our foundation
Mm.
as a people. Well, they say that the cradle of humankind is in Africa. Based on that, all that information, all that search for human life,
Mm.
basically, that's where I am. So it's all part of the anthropology. I got attracted towards that information. Hence, my songs are all about who I am as a person, as a black person,
Mm.
and why I find myself in the environment that I am right now. When I was young,
Mm.
okay, why I am recognizing that I am being treated as the lower human, you
Yeah.
know, and all those questions. I'm like, but I need to know what happened, and all those things you see, and why the whole world is really pressing down on a darker person. Meanwhile, in this world, everyone that is mixed with a black person is black. The
Mm.
offspring of any other color with black is black. So where's the power there? The power is with the black. And that is how I look at life. And we, black people have got, we got so much love for everyone. We got respect, and all that is working against us as a people.
I mean, you bring up some very important points. The first one, understanding identity, right? Or who you are links to your identity, and it links to your value. You know, how you perceive your sense of worth comes from that. And there seems to be some missing pages in history, or maybe a whole book, not just pages, but a whole book that is missing, that would understand your worth and who you are and where you come from. But you say that your songs were about that. Why is it that some people, me included, thought that the message in your music was love in a romantic sense, the romantic love?
Well, love is the foundation of everything that we're talking about. The fact that I had to look back and trace who I am is all based on looking for love. All my songs are all about the positivity that I see in a person, be it a brother, father, uncle, whatever, everyone around me. Okay? What comes naturally with me is to look at this beautiful face of woman and say, wow, the way you talk, the way you look at me, the gaze that I get from you, the love that comes from your eyes, and for me, that is happening to each and every one of us in this world. And it's basically a very global feeling.
It's a human truth.
Exactly. Like I don't have I don't have to act differently to be a human. There are qualities of me being a human that everyone is having. And love is what binds us all together. So I choose to sing about love between two people, between brother and sister, a man and a woman, and nations.
Right.
Because that, to me, that is love. And on top of it, now saying that my music is all about looking for me and looking for answers in me are the songs that, in the very first album, where I'm singing about the our condition at that time. Remember, it was after 1994 when South Africa was sort of like liberated from stages of the parliament, that you are now given a chance to have a voice and to vote. But even though the economic freedom never was given, it is still with the minority. That is another story for another day.
Yeah.
Now, so what I'm saying is, my songs have always been like that. That I was asking questions that now that we are going to be free, now that they say that we are free, yes, we have so many problems of ourselves, because most of us haven't gone to school, not because of our liking, because there was no money to take us there.
But uRadebe, isn't that what's interesting? The why questions that were part of your search as a young man, that were eventually translated into your music.
That's right.
Today, if you observe the world around us, these why questions are coming almost from every human being. There seems to be a fed upness with the status quo. Whether you look at it through the lens of a consumer
That's
who
right.
says, I don't want to consume things the way you want me to consume it. And you see how it translates into business. So before there was linear TV, where they tell you you will watch this show at this time, followed by that show at that time, and you don't have a choice, and you will pay a premium for it. And
that,
now, yeah, and now you get different platforms that say, actually, we'll just give you a whole arrangement of whatever you want to watch, and you decide how to consume it, and you don't have to pay a premium for it. But you also look at it through a different lens. We have questions about, and I think this is what this pandemic is allowing us to talk about and bring, to the mainstream, is what is the power story that governs humanity today, right? You spoke about the West before having the dominant narrative in the history that we have all been taught. Now we've got a very strong narrative coming from the East. And now there seems to be a clash between the West and the East, and we will see it in the tactics that are playing out in business. The China versus America. Sometimes it's subtle, but if you're really listening, this is a battle for the next powerful story that determines the structure of economies, societies, and again, us as humans, how we relate to each other and the world around us. So we are having these why questions. Why are things the way they are? We don't want things to be so fairness, equality, that's a human desire and a human trait that is happening right now. So I think it's amazing that individually you had these why questions against a very oppressive system that you grew up under. Today, it's a different type of oppressive system, and there are more people that are waking up to the unfairness, the growing inequality generally, around the world. It's enough. We can't conduct ourselves this way, and we certainly cannot conduct life and business and any economic structure that literally rapes the very planet that is, as you say, the source of life. So this continued greed and plunder and divide, that is losing flavor, I think, with more and more people across the color line.
I always wonder what Africa could have done if Africa had heeded what Kwame Nkrumah asked in 1916 his speech, with the Ghanaians, when he said, "Look neither left, west, nor east, but forward."
Wow.
You see, but
yeah,
we chose to always look at west mostly.
Yeah.
Some east. Okay. Now we have the east becoming stronger, and we cannot be, pushed into like we don't have our own power. We are attracted to either east or west because they are big magnets. No, Africa is the biggest magnet, but we need to start to realize and acknowledge the power that we have as a people. I stand to be corrected, but the very first leaders in war were women. They were in front. They led with whatever spears, whatever they have, but they were there. That is why now they want to bring that narrative back in this movie, the Black Panther, where the general of the army is a woman.
Right.
That it was like that before. That is why, you know, they say in Sesotho bati mosadi o tshwara thipa ka bohaleng.
Yes.
She blocks the knife holding the blade.
Yes.
She doesn't go anywhere. She go to where there's danger and grab it. Grab it. You see, that is the power of a woman.
Right.
And we can say whatever we want to say. Now, all those things until we look at it that way. Even years gone by just recently, like these few hundred years back, a man would go and hunt, bring what he got, put it next to a woman, said, "Mama, here is it." And then the woman will, decide, okay, this goes to man. All of it keeps it there because a man can't do it. He goes and get it and bring it to the boss.
And the woman will multiply it, will make plenty for everyone.
For everyone, you see? And now when we start to lose that, not only as men by thinking that women are weak, that is the weakest way of thinking as a man. If a man thinks a woman is weak, that is not a man.
What do you think the new story is for the industry, your industry? Because right now, there are no big events. Concerts and festivals don't look like they'll be happening anytime soon. So what happens to music? Because people don't stop enjoying music, right? What in your view, where is the industry at? What is the industry saying?
You see, we, first of all, everything changes, everything evolves. Remember, there were gramophones, and there were LPs, and there were CDs.
Yeah.
And now everything is digital.
Right.
But now I'm put in the deep end where I have to interact with my fans, play music live and do everything and talk to them and all the things that I thought, well, I know. Come on, there are televisions, there are programs that I can do that. But now, look at me and you. I'm talking to this. This is another media.
Yes.
An underground media that is going to reach millions and millions of people. But now, this time around, under this COVID-19, there's a lot of depression, clipping through. I talk to different artists every now and then. It's sad.
And you're quite right. The rise of depression and mental conditions, we will start seeing more and more of it as time goes by. But you specifically, uRadebe, you had taken the route of being an independent artist many years ago. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So, and some people are still highly dependent on the record label. And just your own journey of becoming and sustaining yourself as an independent artist, firstly, you did that to make a statement, right? And because you are who you are, you took that journey, and I've witnessed that it has been a very difficult journey.
It's a tiring task, to be.
Because you have to fight against the system.
To forever fight. Look, we might not have, the crowds to go and perform for, but when we're even blocked from being heard on radio stations by the quota system that is playing more international, more foreign music, more than our music. How are we going to make money when this whole thing is gone?
Right.
You know,
The
you
authentic
know,
stuff.
authenticity, and we are killing that. You know, and this nation, South Africa, and the state in its own, they don't understand that without that twin support, in essence, the nation and the state to support the culture.
And I see what you're doing, showing the situation from the multiple levels, because it's not as simple as artists need money. You're showing that this thing has multiple layers, and it has its roots historically, and you're saying that we are missing the opportunity to do things correctly. Not knowing a lot about the music industry, I must ask this question, as I would ask anybody in any industry. Now that things are the way they are, right? There will be social distancing, crowds will no longer be gathering. But as you said, just 3 years ago, you started engaging with digital platforms, but you didn't throw yourself in there. So now that we are here today, is this not the time to quickly get on board with digital platforms and start creating, new parts and new dots that connect artists to end user, using the multiple platforms that exist?
It is the time. You know, I've been watching on TV programs where they come with this lockdown party where the
Yeah.
DJs are
Ish.
meaning like now an artist should
Jump on board.
avail himself or herself. You see, like I will have to take, say, a guitar and just be in front of, and start like, and like more like, hey, this is Ringo. We here, we know that we're all locked down and all that. So this, that can and I need who your shadows when we enjoy you. Chile, 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 Chanana, Chile, Chile, Chanana, Chile, Chile, ah, oh, and get
Wow.
la, we are no dunia. Are you into you?
Oh, wow.
So if we can do these things every now and then, talk to people, get to people, and let them get closer. And
But do it, Khatebe, because remember, even brands that are not in music or the arts right now are battling to stay connected, right, to their consumers. We're not spending right now. So it would be so much easier for you to grow your fan base and keep them engaged and connected, because we are your community. We are connected by your story, by your music. So don't rob us.
it's coming.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Can the government not come between, us and you? They were not there when this thing started, right? That was amazing. Thank you for sharing that music.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. And so these are the spaces that we need to utilize. And these are the times, as you say, where you
Yeah.
have to just jump into and just get onto it and make it work.
And I really hope that the industry rises to the occasion and rises to the opportunity, that it should never be the thing that stands between your love for the art and the people who receive it, the people that it's intended for, because your art is a message, right? My wish is that may the lack of stadiums and group gatherings and events in the meantime not be the thing that stands between the message, the messenger, you know, and the people that need to receive the message. This is the time for everyone to rise and be independent of thought and doing, to be enterprising, to be connecting. So bringing us back to all of those things that you love and respect about Africanism and African culture. This is what's coming to the forefront now. Communities coming together, inventing and creating where there's very little. Kunini thina singabantu uRadebe, being given very little and being able to create so much.
You know, and talking about that, you know, I mean, it's I was like listening to
Yeah.
the narrative that everything that is African is barbaric.
Hebo.
We used to read about such things that, you know, even our cultures and our traditions are barbaric, even our religion. You know, now it cannot come back now this time around when the world is looking for a vaccination of this man-made you know, virus. And then Africans say, okay, here's umhlonyan, the ones that heals everything. We grew up, you know, having our grandmothers, you know, healing us from that medicinal flower, umhlonyan. Boil it, you drink it, you what do you call this? Steam with it. You know everything about it. So now, if these guys that they have realized that there's power in it, in helping, you know, this COVID-19, but now we are being blocked by our minds and the fact that everything that comes here is barbaric and it's not right, it's backwards, and we need to have this thing being tested. we have our scientists here, for God's sake.
Yeah.
They can get on with the research, and we don't need to have the nod of the West, say, oh yes, that's right. No.
I think what's important about what you're saying, uRadebe, is the preservation of our ancient wisdom, number one. But secondly, to trust the instinct inside, to trust the instinct of each of us, and going back to basics. So while we live in a time of chaos and not knowing, go back to basics. Khumbule khai. Khumbule khai.
You know, we can go on and talk. If I can tell you about the miracles in my life, I think I did mention some.
You touched on a few.
Yeah.
Let's save it. It's been an hour. We can do a second take so that we can fix the message. But can we close this conversation off on a note, and then we will wrap it up?
Sure.
Do you want to gift your people? Notice that one is my favorite.
Hold on.
Oh.
Hinga bupi westanda sa Kuyamanda pekaya Obudani O Jaiwa Jakuboda Ogo pekaya Elikaya Selokaya Nyama Longitesha Heja Kutola
Kudola.
Kawititele Ma When I am so fast
Amazing. A fan for life, Khatebe. You remain a very good friend of mine. I respect your heart and your mind. And please never give up on the truth that you are pursuing, and stay true to your journey. No matter what people think about it, it is your story and your journey.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Khati.
Yeah, bye-bye.